Hi dear friends, this is your Gallant IAS and welcome to another session of Jordan series. So today we are going to discuss about a particular topic from your environmental science, more specifically from the ecological part. So the topic is nothing but the ecological succession. So here we will go through the fundamental ideas regarding the ecological succession, and also we will go through the very important terms which are related with the ecological succession. So let's start our discussion. So here you should know that the important property or the characteristics of all communities is that their structure and their composition regularly or constantly change with respect to the environmental conditions. So this change is actually parallel with the changes in the physical environment. So these changes lead finally to a community that is near equilibrium with the environment, and that is called the climax community. So you should have a proper idea about what is actually the climax community. Next is our main topic, that is the ecological succession. So what is actually the ecological succession? So it is nothing but the gradual and fairly predictable change in the species composition of a given area is called the ecological succession. So we already discussed that the composition and the structure of community are dependent on the environmental conditions. So from that we can easily get the logic behind the ecological succession. So I repeat again, the gradual and fairly predictable. So these are the two key terms in the ecological succession, that is gradual and the predictable, fairly predictable changes in the species composition of a given area is called the ecological succession. So during the ecological succession, some species colonize an area and their population become more numerous, whereas population of other species decline and even disappear. So this is the very important factor related with the ecological succession. So please note down that. Basically, two types of successions are there. So the succession that start in an area where non-living organisms are there, and also the succession in an area that somehow lost all the living organisms that existed there. So the former is called the primary succession, and while the second is the secondary succession. So the examples of areas where primary succession occur are newly cooled lava, bare rocks, newly created pond, reservoir, etc. So here the establishment of a new biotic community is generally slow. But in the secondary succession begins in an area where natural biotic communities have been destroyed, since some soil or sediment is present. Hence the secondary succession is faster than the primary succession. So very important fact, so please note down that. Another interesting fact is that basically the ecological succession focuses on changes in vegetations. So these vegetational changes definitely affect the habitat, that is food and shelter for various types of animals. So thus a succession proceeds, the numbers and types of animals and decomposes also changes. And at any time during primary or secondary succession, natural or human induced disturbance can convert a particular seral stage of succession to an earlier stage. So here we should have the idea about what is actually the seral stage. So seral stage is nothing but the individual transitional communities are termed seral stage or the seral communities. So here the human or such disturbance in the primary or in the secondary succession convert a particular seral stage of succession to an earlier stage. Also such disturbance create new conditions that encourage some species and discourage or eliminate other species. So this is these are the very basic idea related with the ecological succession. So please study well, because ecological succession is a very important topic, and also this is from the NCERT textbook. So we know that the importance of the NCERT in the UPSC preparation. So revise it properly. So before going to an end, let's discuss a model questions related with the ecological succession. So the question is, consider the following statements. So the statement number 1 is secondary succession starts in an area where non-living organisms are there, and the second statement is primary succession begins in an area where natural biotic communities have been destroyed. So which of the following statements given above is or are not correct? So the answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2, because both statements are wrong. So this is for today to jot on, and please keep supporting us, and thanks for watching.